splendid salutations from sunny Kanab.
Yes!
Just came up with that. I'm pretty proud of it.
Nice.
We are here for 2 weeks. And really the whole point is Kanab, Utah is very close to some epic national parks, Bryce Canyon and Zion. We're not here for that.
As well as national monuments.
National monuments too. We're not here for that. We've done most of that. But what we noticed is there is a lot of small hikes and other hikes and things to do in the area that we didn't have time for during our last visit. So we're hoping to tick off 2 of those, one of which we've already started, Sand Cave, and then now we are at Belly of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Let's get them going.
The hike to the sand caves is fairly short, but there are still a few slick rock sections that require some attention along the way. Most of the route has pretty good traction, although some of the sloped rock can feel a little awkward underfoot. Evening light also seemed to be the best time to visit since the softer sunlight reached into the caves and really brought out the texture and color of the sandstone walls within. The caves were originally created decades ago during mining operations for sand that was used in glass manufacturing. Workers carved directly into the Navajo sandstone, leaving behind these massive hollowed-out chambers that almost look natural today. Over time, wind and erosion softened many of the sharp edges and helped the caves blend into the surrounding cliffs. The Belly of the Dragon is one of the easiest hikes to access since the parking area sits right beside the entrance, which also makes it one of the busier spots in the area. Getting inside does require a short rock scramble though, creating a bit of a gatekeeper before the trail opens up beyond it.
Pink ribbons ultimately let us down. They went a different way, and we've done a lot of climbing now.
Yeah.
That wasn't intended, so let's get back on trail.
We decided to follow the full route shown on all trails, which continues well beyond the tunnel itself. Once out the other side, the trail becomes much less defined with several different paths branching through the wash. Jay kept checking the app to stay on route, but after spotting several pink ribbons from the Ultra 115 race course following our route, we eventually just started following those instead. The trail led us onto a lollipop-style loop that ended at a dry waterfall before we turned back toward the tunnel. We'd also recommend bringing a flashlight since the middle section gets surprisingly dark. Honestly, unless you're looking to add a few extra steps for the day, we'd probably recommend just exploring the cave section itself and then spending the extra time driving beyond the trailhead along Elephant Gap Road instead. We stumbled into this and really enjoyed it. The scenery out there feels far more unique than the additional hiking beyond the tunnel.
What do you think, Abby? You like this road? I like the road.
Sure.
What do you think there, baby girl?
The Toadstool Hoodoos Trail is one of the more unique hikes thanks to its strange mix of layered sandstone, soft rolling hills, and mushroom-shaped rock formations scattered across the desert. Jay had visited the area years ago, and we've driven by several times, so we decided to stop for a quick afternoon visit to do a little exploring. Since the surrounding land is managed by the BLM, there are unofficial paths branching in several directions from the main trail. Using a route we found on All Trails, we wandered farther out toward a scenic overlook into the valley, along with several more hidden hoodoo formations that many visitors likely never even realize are back there.
Well, that was Toadstool Hoodoos.
Yes.
Hopefully you can hear us okay in the wind. I've got my little dead cat on the mic. Hopefully it's doing its dead cat job. We had hoped to do this a little earlier in the week because our strategy has basically been, I still work my whole day, and luckily now the days have gotten a little bit longer, particularly here in this time zone. So then we're able to go out when it's cooled off a little bit and enjoy sort of a sunset later hike in the day. Unfortunately, we had some vehicular issues this week, and the first is kind of good. It was we had some problems with wind coming in here again, and if you recall or you watch the channel, we abandoned out of where was that? Jamaica Beach down around Galveston because of wind. Our slide, the awning over our slide, was just flapping.
Craziness.
Long story short, when we installed it, we had a weird pop. We weren't sure what it was. We now know that there's two springs in it. One of the springs was kaput. The bolt sheared off. We got a local RV tech because the wind here, it was flopping. We ended up pulling the slide in and going out for dinner because we couldn't take what it was doing. I think it's all fixed. The bottom line is he got it squared away and we're good to go with that. The other thing is, on one of the evenings where we were headed out, we got in dusty and we're driving, and then we hear a bing, which was a check engine light. We weren't sure what that was. We were able to get the only local shop. The closest Jeep place is an hour and a half away in St. George. So we went to a local shop. They read the code. It's an EVAP issue, so hopefully it'll go away on its own. I don't know. Anyway, it's now Friday. Hopefully we're going to be able to do quite a bit more. So let's check out that other stuff.
Cottonwood Canyon Road quickly became one of our favorite scenic drives in the area, thanks to how dramatically the scenery changed throughout the route. Soft rolling hills and pale sunstone eventually gave way to towering cliffs filled with deep reds, oranges, and layered rock formations. By this point in the drive, we had pretty much stopped trying to guess what might appear around the next bend. The entire area also does a great job showing just how different the landscapes around Kanab can feel from one adventure to the next. Even though we were still surrounded by desert, the softer colors and wide open terrain along the road created a completely different atmosphere, especially when compared to the more dramatic red rock hikes and canyon scenery the area is usually known for. About halfway through the drive, we came across the Cottonwood Narrows Trail completely by accident and decided it looked too interesting to pass up, and Abby needed a break anyway. The hike follows a sandy wash winding between narrow canyon walls, and aside from a small rock scramble about a quarter of the way in, it was a surprisingly easy and enjoyable walk.
Good girl, Abby. Thanks for waiting.
Along the path, we took a left turn into a side canyon just to see where it went, and honestly, that ended up becoming one of the highlights of the entire stop. It's one of those reminders that some of the best discoveries happen when you simply decide to wander a little farther than originally planned.
What do you think, Abby? It's crazy in here, huh, baby? Okay, go. Go, 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 go. Is there? This way, baby. Come on, come, 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 come. Go get mom, go get mom.
Drive days are usually relaxing for us since we get to enjoy the scenery along the way. But for Abby, they mostly just mean built up energy. So anytime she gets a chance to run around a little, she definitely makes the most of it.
Abby trail mix.
Mm-hmm.
Nom, nom, nom. Snack time.
By the time we reached Grosvenor Arch, we had pretty much accepted that we weren't getting anything else done that day. Despite the name, it's actually a massive double arch formation, and it felt like a pretty fitting final stop after spending the day wandering through the southern Utah landscape.
Okay, ladies, we ready? Let's do it. So that drive yesterday, well, first, it was amazing. We had a great time, and we're very thankful that we stopped and smelled the roses, so to speak. That little, the narrows that Alana already told you about made the drive. That said, us doing so put us behind schedule, and I don't know what we were thinking, that we were going to be able to do something else in addition to the drive. I think we thought, this is 47 miles. We'll out and back this baby, no problem, figuring that the way back would be faster. But what we didn't account for is where it spit us out was like 75, 80 miles from where we needed to be for the next thing. So ultimately, we didn't get back to camp until like 10:30, almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then we did a quick reset to come out for today's hike. So today, you already saw the trail that we have started on. Yes. It's advertised in All Trails as like 15 and a half miler if you did the whole thing out and back.
No, that's actually not the whole thing because it keeps going. But
okay, not the whole thing.
The
All Trails recorded thing.
Yes.
And as Alana said, it just happens to be where the person stopped.
Yeah.
That's our plan too. We don't know where we're going to stop. We're going to go till we feel like half of our tank is used.
Yep.
And we're going to turn around and head back.
Yep.
So let's check this canyon out. Far enough. Hey.
The trail immediately drops down into the river wash, which starts out fairly open before gradually narrowing deeper into the Paria Canyon. If you've never hiked through a desert wash before, the loose soil can be surprisingly tiring since every step steals a little momentum.
So if you watched our last video, we have been struggling with Abby's morning schedule, and this is the trick. We've just integrated in, and she's, I don't know how to explain it, but we kind of know when she's getting a little hungry. So we just stop and now we have our breakfast. What's up there? Go on, baby. Go check it out.
Since the area doesn't require it, and the trail started out fairly wide open with very few people around, Abby did this entire hike off lead, although we still kept her fairly close because of the occasional critters roaming the area. Along the way, we eventually reached an area known as the Picturesque Windows, where erosion carved a series of unusual openings and flowing textures directly into the canyon walls over time. Some of the formations almost resemble giant windows in the rock, while others look like sandstone frozen mid-wave. What always surprises us in places like this is how dramatically the sandstone can change depending on the light. It's one of the reasons out and back hikes in the desert often feel completely different on the return trip, even when you're technically walking the same exact trail.
What's in there, Abby? You gonna go look? What's in there? No, we're done. Go check it out.
One thing that plays a huge role in hiking Paria Canyon is recent rainfall, and not just because of the obvious flash flood danger. Rain can completely change the overall hiking experience long after the storms have passed, with sections of the canyon sometimes filling with standing pools of water deep enough to wade through waist high. On our visit, the canyon was surprisingly dry. Most of the riverbed was little more than damp sand in places, which made hiking through the wash much easier than it can apparently be at other times of the year. Desert hikes like this can look completely different depending on when you visit and what kind of weather the area has seen recently. That unpredictability is honestly part of what makes hiking in southern Utah feel so interesting to us. Two people can hike the exact same canyon only weeks apart and end up having completely different experiences, depending on the rain, water levels, lighting, temperatures, and even how much sand has shifted around inside the wash.
You all charged up?
Yeah.
Ready to go? Let's do it.
As we headed back through the canyon, Abby was definitely starting to feel the heat. After putting her cooling vest on, though, she suddenly had a whole new burst of energy, even if she was still trying to grab every patch of shade along the way.
You waiting for us in the shade? Yeah, you waiting for us? You made it, baby.
Woo, baby
That's a big
girl.
hike. Well, hopefully you can hear us in all of this wind. I'll talk about that here in a second. We didn't anticipate doing nearly as much of that hike as
No.
we did, but it was just one of those things that around every bend, you thought, wonder what's around the next bend.
Yeah.
One thing led to another, and we've got 16 miles on us. So it was really fantastic. Now, this wind here today, and what we're doing today, we had planned to do some more canyon exploring. We nixed that because we didn't want to get sandblasted by this wind.
Yeah.
We've got like 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and
Yeah.
it's quite a bit. So we hit the old Google and we said, what do you do near Kanab when it's really windy? And Johnson Canyon Road came up,
Yeah.
and that's what we're at the start of now. So let's go check that out.
This drive felt a little different since it starts out winding through wide open ranch land before eventually pushing farther toward the cliffs and rock formations beyond. What really stood out, though, was how surprisingly green parts of the grasslands were during our visit. Against the surrounding desert scenery and towering cliffs, it created a landscape we honestly weren't expecting to see out here. About halfway through the drive, the pavement eventually gave way to gravel as the road changed names and continued farther into the backcountry. We actually followed it all the way to the end, but truthfully, the earlier paved section contained most of the scenery that really stood out to us. There's a good chance many visitors would feel perfectly satisfied turning around at that point rather than continuing on the gravel.
There you go, Johnson Canyon Road. It was nice to be expected, but it was nice. It was beautiful. As Alana said in the voiceover, really no reason to push on when the pavement ends. Most of the really scenic stuff had kind of ended, so there's no problem with going on. But at the same time, you could also turn around and just enjoy that superior scenery the opposite direction and make your way back into town. Now, some other good news. We had in this video some vehicular problems with all of that wind that you just saw that we were going around. Well, the flapping is much better on our awning slide. We're in good action there.
Yes.
And that was kind of one of the last lingering things, knock on wood, that we had with the RV. And that check engine light that came on in the car, I put some good gas in it. And in fact, that evap issue has gone away. And we've put quite a few miles on it now without any issue. So the magic of procrastination, that has resolved itself. Speaking of procrastination, we're going to procrastinate a bit on this video. We're going to wrap this part of Kanab up and continue on. We still have another week and another weekend worth of exploring, but we know this is getting a little bit long. So this is the conclusion of part 1. We'll see you next week, hopefully, maybe the week after, whenever we can get to it for part 2. Thanks for following along with this one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.